Hey guys, and welcome to Flashback Generations. Dave and I have often dreamed of becoming the mayor of a small budding town. Dave, get your hard hat on. We are going to Machi Koro.
The game's contents.
Machi Koro is a card game with, I suppose, tokens, much like a lot of other games. So you get money, dice, cards. That's it for the game.
Indeed.
The cards you pretty much they've got beautiful artwork on them.
Oh yeah.
Very stylized.
It is very stylized, and that style carries across the entire box and everything that's inside it. Like for instance, this rule book. It's out of this world, isn't it?
It's a very nice rule book.
It really is.
It's a rule book that makes you want to read it.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, it's just a way of laying out the content, which is just really pleasing to look at, and you can see how torn and battered this version is that I've got. Just I've looked at it a million times.
You keep on reading it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the card detail is quite nice, and you know what? There's very little else to say about the contents. The box, you get an inner tray inside the box, and it's actually very nice. It actually suits all expansions for it as well.
Yeah.
You'd fit tons. You'd fit all this money. You can fit the dice, and but there's a problem. We don't even want to throw away these other boxes.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful. It's beautifully packaged and presented. We'll go into the rules now.
Yeah. Okay.
The game rules.
Like any city building game, I guess you start off small and then you have to build up your empire. In this case, you start with a city hall, a bakery, and a wheat field, and then you go through the game trying to purchase more buildings to try and build up an empire. Your ultimate goal is to build a shopping mall, amusement park, airport, harbour, train station, and radio tower. When you complete them, you flip them over. They give you little bonuses each. They've all got a cost on them. So every card here, you can probably see these little gold circles on them. That's how much they cost. These numbers on top, the white, that's whatever you roll in the dice. That's the active card. The colours are important too. Blue activates in anyone's turn. So if I roll a 1, everybody is going to get 1 coin from the bank as long as you have these blue cards.
Yep.
Red is anyone else's turn. So if I roll a 3 and Dave has one of these cafes, he's going to steal some of my money.
Yeah.
Green activates in your turn. So I roll that 3. The bakery activates. I'm going to get 1 coin in my turn only. But the green ones have usually a better effect than the blue ones, or are cheaper. And the purple ones are a little bit different. So they've got like really random effects, like swapping cards or bullying someone or taking money off everyone. They've got very random effects. So fundamentally, this is a very easy game, and I'll tell you how easy it is. Learning this game, I was at the UK Expo. A guy came over to ask me, do I want to play? I said, yeah, sure. He came over. He probably spent about 10 seconds telling me the rules. That he said, there's the gold cost, and that's the number, and it goes around. And then he walked off, and he left me and Pete to just figure it out. And we were literally like, well, what are we meant to do now? So, after 2 minutes, we literally thought, oh, this is very easy. This is how it all works. And it's a great game like that. I found that getting new players involved, it's very easy to just tell them, listen, you're going to roll a dice, buy things with your money.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you've got the phases in this game is you start your phase, you roll a dice, then you get to take money, then you get to spend money. So depending on the results, like there's a few the complexity in this game comes from the red cards activating before the purple cards, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a few little effects that or who do you pay first, because the reverse orders happen, and so there is a few little rules in it that it can get complicated. But on the face of this is the easiest game I think on earth.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even just looking at the table now, obviously we've got the 2 dice. the game only starts at 1 dice, and you've got to actually buy the is it the train station? I think it is.
You need a train station.
Yeah, the train station to get a second dice. So yeah, that sort of expansion in the game, you know, it's can start off really simple if you don't bother getting the train station.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's but all these cards have massive effects, but they're actually pretty expensive. So you know, an airport's 30 coins. So you really have to save up for that. But you know, when you're going for that, people know, and it's a very us and them game. You know, people will support each other up until a point, and when you're trying to win the game, and then everyone's going to go against you. And you know, I found that it's a bit of a sneaky game. One person will try and sneak a win.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's you know, tactically, there's various ways to go about it. Do you go for blue? Do you spread your numbers? Do you put all your eggs in one basket? Do you try and rob everyone else's coins?
Yeah.
Do you just do it through the purple cards, special conditions? There's so many different tactics in this game, and there's nothing that's correct, because if the numbers don't work for you, you're not going to win.
Exactly, that's it, yeah.
So you know, it's a hard one to judge, and it's a good fun game in that respect. And you know, everyone who plays it always thinks that's brilliant, and they want to play again straight away.
Yeah, it is just so pleasant to play as well. I think the artwork really does help in that regard. I know I've already gushed about that, but it does. It just makes it pleasant to play on every turn.
It is. Actually, let's talk about the expansions.
Okay.
The game's future.
Okay, so we're going to start talking about the expansions. First of all, I just wanted to point out, Simon did mention at the beginning that you start with the City Hall. That's only actually part of the expansion, the harbour expansion.
Yeah, but once you put the harbour in, you're not going to look back. You can't actually play it without the harbour. Much like Bang or whatever. It's the sort of game that once you put this in, you think, why would I ever not want to put that in again? So, you know, it is a better game with the harbour. Millionaire's Row.
Millionaire's Row.
Opinion?
I've seen the leaflet that comes with the harbour expansion, but other than that, I know nothing about it.
I'm intrigued with it. I haven't gone for it yet, but I think I'm going to end up getting it.
So what sort of stuff does it add?
Millionaire's Row. What the harbour adds. This is a 4-player game, typically with the standard game. The harbour adds a 5th player, which is absolutely essential in my opinion, and it adds a lot of extra little places. The Millionaire's Row adds a lot more of these objectives, and it fundamentally changes some of the rules. So it's actually going to be for more experienced players of the Machi Koro. So you know, if you're dabbing your hand in this and thinking about it, I would recommend getting the base game. And if you like it, definitely go for the harbour. And if your group still really loves it once more, I would go for the Millionaire's Row.
Yeah.
My group love it. So you know, and if you're playing a session tonight with your group, and I hope that they love it, so then you're going to be encouraged to get it.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I do want to point out is obviously it just knocks the game up from 4 to 5 players.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit of kick in the teeth for me and my group, because obviously we're a lot of couples that I play with, so it'd be great if we could have that 6th player. Can you see that ever come up in the future?
Yes, I think that's what they need to aim for.
Yeah.
It'll mean they'll add another, you know, Wheatfield and bakery, but hey, that's all we need. You probably need an extra city hall to make up for the harbour, but maybe that's short-sighted of them to not do that, because then how does it? Oh, I guess they could, because they just do it the same way.
It seems interesting, yeah. But I suppose there's a point where you could say that you could pick up 2 of the core sets and go from there.
At what point, I'm sure the playtesters would know this as well, what point when it's not your turn, then suddenly does the cafe become overpowered?
Oh, right, I see.
Because it's not your turn and it's going around, it's a longer turn. Or do the blue cards suddenly get very powerful because it's on anyone's turn? The green cards will lose their value. So, I mean, if you're trying to say this should be an 8-player game, you know, suddenly there's a big imbalance.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can, but you know what, saying that, 6 players actually sounds very doable, and personally, I hope it happens, because, hey, you know, why not?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it would be stretching the cards, probably, like where you want it to be, but leave it at 6 players and that's it. If they do release a pack like that, it'd be good if they kind of started limiting some of the cards, maybe, because in my experience with a lot of these games, people will go for one thing. So the mine, for instance, is a popular one, but one person can afford it and they really go crazy and they build all of them. But maybe if there's only 2 mines in there, or 2 of each card, and they made it harder for people to kind of get these cards, it might actually make more variety and force variety on people.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe that's a home ruling thing that should be implemented. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. At the start of the game, roll off and see which cards disappear from the deck. They need. I would like to see something like that. A little bit of a different mechanic.
Yeah.
P.S. Neither of us have read or played Millionaire's Roll to actually comment on it.
Yeah, we can say that.
Whatever it's got in it, and I know it's got some rule changes in it. We can't comment on it.
Yeah. If that added a 6th player, it'd be a definite first day purchase for me.
Yeah. Is there anything missing from the game? Do you think that there needs to be symbols or something for it as well? Do you think we need some sort of model, some sort of, a Monopoly, you need your comedy hat? Do you think anything like that?
I think stuff like that always kind of add a little bit of value to the game, but I think for this it's just perfect how it is. It's the simplicity and again the design aesthetic that really does make this set it apart.
I'll tell you what, it's a nice travel game.
Yeah.
But it requires a big table. What I've found is that the amount of cards you get in it all seem to be quite sprawling on the table. So, and as soon as you put players in and everyone's trying to get their city, and that can be quite big. So, playing space, as much as on the face of it looks small, it is quite a big game.
No, definitely. I've actually had a 2-player game of this on a hotel bed, and I won't go into the details, but yeah, stuff all over the place.
I want some details about the hotel bed, please.
Okay, well, I'll save that for later.
After, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and value-wise, this game retails probably 30-ish.
I think it was 30, and then I picked up the expansion the other day. I'm not sure whether it was an Amazon deal, but it was 15.
Yeah, I think it's that.
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable. It's quite a high cost, really, and they really are obviously looking at gamers who understand the cost of it. It's not something that you can just kind of frivolously invest in, which is a shame, because I think that you're alienating a certain type of player from it. So currently it's got the 2 expansions. Do you think that they need to go crazy with expansions, or do you think they should kind of retain what they have?
And I'd love to see more expansions, to be honest. Yeah, obviously I've not really looked into the Millionaire's Row yet and what it offers, but anything to improve the longevity of this game, which is already quite long. I've only played a couple of games of this, but it's been very different each time.
I feel the same. I feel like I can't wait to get into my next game. So I feel like every time I have people around, I'm thinking, great, let's get this open.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of that, I think that we both rate it extremely highly.
Extremely highly, yeah.
For me, I'd probably be like, I'd give this a 9, because I can't see myself putting it down.
No, yeah, a 9 definitely, but maybe even just to a 9.5.
Thought you're going to say the 10 word there.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
But, I mean a 9 easily. I'm not getting bored of it. I really enjoy it. Our group loves it. I love hosting it, and there's a little story you can tell every time. It's funny when people have to get stung by your cafe again, or you've got a sushi bar set up and someone has to go to it.
Yeah.
It makes it a comical event. You can tell people why they're going there. The stadium, for instance, is quite a funny one. Like when you're telling people you're coming there because you're of Team X, but like and then you tell someone and he's like, I don't want to go to that match. So it creates banter and it creates a good story. It's a good fun game.
It's great fun, yeah. It's great.
I would very much recommend it. For 30 quid, I would say it's definitely worth it. It's worth taking a shot at. If just for the core game, try it out with your group, see how you get on. If the core group doesn't go for it, sell it on to another group that does. Go from there. And you know what? I recommend that strategy with any game.
yeah, it's really the best way to do it.
Okay, well anyway, thank you very much for watching. From Dave and I. See you later, guys. Machi Koro. Machi Koro?
Machi Koro?
Machi Koro?
Machi Suro?
Yeah, anyway, we're going to this game.